You know how every single new VR game seems to be a wave-based shooter? Well, this is the game that they're all based off of, and that is Serious Sam: The Last Hope. It is a VR wave-based shooter, and it is absolutely the waviest of wave-based shooters.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Now, normally, we're not a fan of wave-based shooters because they tend to be the laziest, sloppiest type of VR game that you can play. Somebody just sticks you into a area, says you can't move, and then throws enemies that come at you and gives you some gun that they've stolen from the Unity workshop. And that's kind of the whole thing about it. And they're very, very lazy. This is not a lazy wave-based shooter. It's a pretty darn good one. Hey guys, this is Moriarty.
And I'm CryptoSpook. I will totally agree with you there. This is very much so a wave-based shooter, but the waves aren't just random enemies thrown at you. They're well designed. If you play this game in co-op, they design the enemy waves very well so that you and your teammate need to actually use teamwork and work together. Say one person goes high, one person goes low. I had a couple issues where the other player is blocking the play space because they kind of just slap you both in the middle and you have to work together, saying, hey, take a step back, or I'll step forward so we can play together. And it gets complicated in there, especially when you got explosions and people coming at you from all different directions at the same time. It's really intense.
And unlike other games, this is not afraid of sending 50 enemies at you at the same time.
Or 100.
It will just load you up. It'll put enemies far away who are attacking you with projectiles, and they don't shoot one, they'll shoot 10. On top of that, you'll have a wave of enemies coming from 180 degrees-ish in front of you. They'll come from the side, they're small, they're big, they're flying.
You know, that's one thing I didn't realize how much I appreciated, was the fact that it was only 180 degrees. Good lord, could you imagine if this was 360 degrees?
If this was 360, it would be unplayable.
Yeah, that's true. You'd be just falling all over yourself.
It's super neat how they did it. The menus that they have are probably the coolest menus I've seen in this style of game, where on one side of you you'll have all of your guns, on the other side of you you'll have all of your ammo.
And if you really want to know what guns are on the other side, you're going to have to push your co-op partner out of the way, which I was happy to do. Unfortunately, there is no locomotion in this game other than walking around inside your play space, so I have, I think, a 2.5 by 3 meter play space, so I've got a little bit of room to walk around, but Moriarty has a very small play space, so he couldn't move around too much, so he was just kind of stuck in the middle.
Yeah, my play space is, I think, 1.5 by 2, so it's not a large space, and that definitely means that I was getting in Crypto's way a lot, which he's happy to tell you about. That, I think, was probably something that he didn't enjoy a whole lot.
Well, the only problem is you can't shoot through your partner. Hopefully it doesn't damage your partner. I didn't know about that. But you can't shoot. It's pretty hard to shoot over them. You just kind of like got to gangster it up over their head, you know? Oh, you know what? We probably could have crouched.
You might have been able to crouch. We didn't even try that.
That's probably the best way to do it. You'd probably be like, hey man, crouch.
You know, it's funny. We use VR, but we never even think about using our legs.
They're pointless, stumpy appendages once you're inside the world of VR.
Totally useless.
Especially if I had a jetpack. So this is the second Serious Sam VR game we have played. The other one had locomotion, and I accidentally fired that one up at first, and I was like, wow, this looks almost exactly the same, because it was.
Yeah. The other one is a direct port of the Serious Sam game that was made for the PC years and years and years ago. This is, I believe, the first one that's made exclusively for VR.
No, I think there's also, you can probably play it with the co-op too, because there was like controllers and keyboard options, so you can probably play that one on the desktop too.
Maybe, but I still think this is the first one that's meant for VR. I think one of the things that this game could really benefit from is a locomotion similar to Elven Assassin.
Where you can teleport around the level. That would be smart.
Where you can teleport to specific points in the map that the developer has chosen. So you have little spots that you can teleport to, and it gives you more tactical options, and it allows you to kind of move around a little bit more.
And you can get out of each other's faces.
I think that might be something that this game could really, really use. It's a good game. It's a lot of fun. It has 5 different planets, and each planet has like 4, 5 different levels and a boss. Each planet also has a couple of weapons and some new enemies and stuff like that. So it's not like there's not a lot of stuff in here. It's definitely got a lot of stuff. That recording, how long is it?
That was 45 minutes, and we went through 2 planets. There was still 3 planets left, and the newest planet, Valtos, has a bow. Oh man, we should go play that one.
That might be pretty cool.
A bow with piercing/explosive arrows and the deadly Devastator, whatever that is.
I don't know, but it sounds cool. This is definitely a neat game. I think that it's worth taking a look at. The problem is, and I gotta admit, this is a problem for me, it's a $40 wave-based shooter.
Well, it is a $40 wave-based shooter, but I would say the waves are well designed. It was really fun. I was still having fun, and I wanted to keep going on to the next level, especially since it's co-op wave-based shooting, which is the best kind of wave-based shooting.
It is a lot of fun, and it is probably the only wave-based shooter that I've ever really thought was good. On top of that, this is Devolver Digital and Crow Team, and they've always been good about doing updates and adding content. They tend to do an update to a game at least once a month, if not 2 or 3 times a month. And when they do these updates, they're adding new guns, they're adding new levels, adding in various changes and fixes and things like that that will increase the playability of the game. They'll add in different firing modes or localizations and things like that. So they definitely spend a lot of time playing with the game, making sure that it works and it has a lot of content and the value is there. It's still something that you're going to have to think about before you buy the game, and that price, that hurts for me. I don't think if the game had not been sent to us that I would have looked at this and gone, oh, I'll pay $40 for it.
Well, I'm just saying, looking at the graphics of this game, graphically, it was beautiful. And there was a lot of different options in there for people with less powerful PCs to turn things down, tweak it, so that you get the perfect experience. But, I mean, I was recording at 4K 60, playing, had it going on my monitor. That's 3 different things open at the same time. I didn't get a single graphical hiccup, stutter, nothing, and everything looked beautiful. The bright lights that they were shooting at us weren't too overpowering. I didn't feel like there was too many particle effects. There are a lot of things that I usually complain about in VR that did not happen in this game.
You know, I will give it to that. The game does look good and it does play well. It's really well optimized. Whatever the Sirius engine is doing, it's doing it well. And it makes it so that you're able to play the game and really, really get into it and enjoy it. We played our co-op experience, and I tell you, it went by really fast. If I'd come out of that and you told me it'd been 2 hours or you told me it'd been 15 minutes, I would have believed either one.
That and each level felt very unique. I didn't feel like they were digging back into the same bag of tricks to throw at me on the next planet. Each experience was completely unique. Some of the monsters were the same, but it's the Serious Sam universe. It's what you're going to get.
Yeah, the Serious Sam monsters, there's always the same sort of ones. You've got your little scorpion things, and you've got your guys with bombs attached to their hands.
However, each level did have unique monsters as well.
Did have unique monsters and unique bosses. That's absolutely true. The game is cool. It's fun. It's great for friends. It is expensive. There are some things that make me think perhaps it wasn't really designed for the Vive, like, for example, your hands can't move. In co-op, you move your hands and nothing happens. They stay stuck by your side like you're a Lego man. And that's not totally immersive, but I get it. You know, it's obviously meant for either Oculus non-touch or maybe PSVR. They want to expand into that. I get it. It's not a big deal, but if you're going to make a Vive game, I feel like you should show my hands moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they were trying to keep away from, people assaulting each other in VR.
I guess, that is actually a serious thing. But with this game, there's 3 things that I think are lacking. I think we're lacking a locomotion that is similar to Elven Assassin. I think that we're lacking the ability to actually see where our hands are going. And we're lacking a proper grouping inviting system.
And that's a Steam problem. I don't understand how we've had it this long and I still can't figure out how to invite a friend to my game through Steam VR. What in the hell is wrong with Steam VR? How is nobody else flipping out about this?
I totally agree. I think that the fact that Crypto had to make a public lobby and I had to open it up and he just happened to be there and somebody else didn't join in isn't exactly the greatest thing.
Or you have to take off the headset, walk over to your computer, right-click, and then join friend.
Yeah, either way, it's not the best system. And I agree that's probably a Steam thing, not so much a Crow Team thing, but either way, those are really the three things that need to make this a fantastically great game. If they were to put those in, just the first one really, changing it up so that you have different positions that you can fight from as opposed to just being stuck back to back. As iconic as it is, I think it would really extend it and add some tactical diversity. You could even just add it on certain levels so you don't even have to go back and change up your levels. You can just add it in the future levels. Changing it so that you can see my hands, that would just be a nice little thing. And the invite system, man, I don't know what that problem is, but it just sucks not being able to easily join up with a friend, especially in a game that's co-op.
I'd like to point out that that is definitely a Steam problem and not a Serious Sam problem. Not saying this is Serious Sam's problem, I'm just saying this in general, that needs to be fixed.
So there you go, guys. That is Serious Sam VR, The Last Hope. You are the last hope.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan Kasamo. Obi-Sam Kowabo. Sammy Ben Jr.
You're our only hope, Sammy Davis Jr.
Let us know below if you've tried it out. Have you played one of the other Serious Sams and you didn't pick this up because you thought it would be the same thing? What do you think about wave-based shooters? We talk about them so much and we talk so poorly about them, and it's really weird saying, hey, here's a wave-based shooter that you should play.
And let me get a like if you're also really furiously irritated with Steam VR for not having an invite system built into Steam VR.
Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the Patreon. We've got all of our giveaways now on Juniper. You can check out the link down below. And as always,
We'll see you on the next one.